Hello everybody, welcome to this video. The English literature exams are right around the corner, and what I want to talk to you about in this video is how to avoid some of the common mistakes that students make in the English literature exams. So I've been an examiner, I obviously run this YouTube channel, I've been a teacher, a head of English, I've travelled all around the country working with over 1,000 students this summer, and all of that combines to two things that students often do when they're writing about English literature. So the first mistake to avoid is writing about the characters as if they are real. What we have to realize about English literature is that the characters are constructs and that they are created by the writers to present their ideas and themes. So if we look at our writers here, William Shakespeare, Charles Dickens, and J.B. Priestley. Let's say that you're studying Macbeth, A Christmas Carol, and An Inspector Calls. What we have to realize is that, let's take J.B. Priestley. He wasn't bored one day. He wasn't thinking, you know what, I'm going to go out and play a game of football. Oh no, it's raining. Okay, I'll write a play about a girl who drinks bleach and a closet alcoholic and a horrible factory owner and all that sort of thing. No, these writers had ideas, themes, and perspectives that they wanted to get across to their readers. Now, in your answer, you have to link to the writer's ideas and themes. Even if a question is on character, you have to write about how that character is used by the writer to present their ideas and themes. So, for example, if you're writing about Macbeth, you might write about power or ambition or appearances versus reality or gender roles or the supernatural. If you're writing on a Christmas Carol, you might write about social responsibility, the rich-poor divide, class, compassion, forgiveness. Similar with An Inspector Calls, social responsibility, capitalism versus socialism, class, young versus old. The key thing here is that whatever the question is on, you've got to think about how can I link this question to the writer's ideas and themes. Now, this is not an exhaustive list, and this is not to say that in an answer you would link to all of these, but you do have to link to at least one of the major themes of the text. Now, sometimes the question will make it very clear which themes to write about. So it might say, you know, how does Priestley present Mr. Burling as a criticism of capitalism or something like that, and you think, okay, I know what I'm going to write about. Sometimes the question will link to something that isn't one of these themes. There was a Christmas Carol question on the presentation of the supernatural in A Christmas Carol. And, you know, you would stop there and think, okay, the supernatural is not one of Charles Dickens's themes in this text. He wasn't trying to get a message across about ghosts. He wasn't trying to say, you know what, people think ghosts are bad, but actually they're not so bad. He was using the ghosts, the supernatural, as a jumping off point to talk about compassion and forgiveness and social responsibility. And there's a great student exemplar. If you have a look in the A Christmas Carol playlist, there's a great student answer that shows how the supernatural is used to talk about the rich-poor divide. So whether the question explicitly links to one of the themes or not, your job is to think about how you can use the question in your answer to write about one of the writer's ideas and themes. So often we get emotionally involved in the text with the characters, and we can write an answer about Scrooge, for example, that just talks about how he was really horrible at the beginning and, you know, how he became a nicer person. But we've got to make it clear. We realise that Scrooge is not a real person. He was a character created by Dickens to present his theme of social responsibility and a message to us as a reader that we should look after others and that kind of thing. Okay. Now the second one, and this is something that I've made videos on quite extensively already, but it is important, is that you don't analyze the plot. So you don't analyze when things happen in the text. You know, when this happens, when the character does this, it makes us think this. But you actually analyze the writer's use of language and structure and form. So the actual way the writer creates meaning through their word choices, their structure choices, their use of form. And if you have a look in my English literature playlist, which is where I'm going to put this video, you'll see two videos on analysing structure and form in poetry and in Shakespeare. And that's the sort of thing I'm talking about. It's so easy to say, you know, when this happens, you know, it makes us think this. So it's quite easy to say, you know, when Scrooge won't let, you know, won't put another piece of coal on the fire, it makes us realise this about him. And that's such a kind of low level analysis. When things happen, it makes us think this. It's much better to analyse specific words or phrases in close language analysis, structure analysis of what happens when and why that's important, bringing in Freytag's pyramid, form analysis of stage directions in a play, and the significance of the dramatic monologue form in a poem, and all of that sort of thing. So those are, in my experience, the two things that a lot of students do that are quite easy to rectify. You've got to link to the writer's ideas and themes. You've got to avoid analysing the actual plot and look at a writer's deliberate choice of language, structure and form. Now, that is why in all of my videos on this channel, I avoid analysing plot and analyse language, structure and form. So watch the videos if you're not sure. Thanks for watching, and please do subscribe to the channel.